So in the studio today, we've got an update to one of my favourite low-profile keyboards. This is the Newfie Air 75 V3. Now this has got quite a few added features, so let's unbox it and take a look. Now this is available in two colours. We have the light, there's also a Nebula Dark, and there's obviously different switches to choose from. They've sent us the Nano Red switches, which is a V3 Gateron switch, so we're going to look forward to seeing how they feel. All right, so opening the box, instantly greeted with the keyboard itself. There we go, that is beautiful. Pop that to the side, let's see what else is in the box. So we have our quick guide and frequently asked questions. Pretty handy for all the sort of the hotkeys and macros. Nothing under there. Everything else is contained in this little package. Right, so a USB to USB-C, so you can plug it into a PC to charge or run wires. You've also got the Newfie switch and keycap puller. Some lovely double shot PBT spare keycaps. So it will come with Mac as standard setup, but you can switch that over to Windows with the included keycaps. They've got a couple of strange looking, well, it looks like a cat or something on that one. And then finally, we have a knob. So you can replace one of these keys with that knob. Right, there we go. Let's take a look around the board itself. Now, just in case you haven't seen one of these Air keyboards before, I have reviewed the previous V1 and V2. They're a very solid, beautiful feeling mechanical keyboard that's particularly low profile. It's great for travel, for anyone that doesn't want one of those massive, heavy mechanical keyboards. You know, you can chuck this in your bag, or you can have it on your desk with your Mac or your PC. And you've got a really lovely typing experience, but doesn't take up a lot of desk space. Now, they use PBT keycaps. It's got a nice gasket design, so the feel of these keyboards is absolutely amazing. So let's quickly take a look around. Now, this is the 75 layouts, so it's quite crammed in together to make it compact. We do get the function keys across the top, and these obviously escape. And this here, I think, is a multifunction key we'll look at in a little while. Now, on the very top itself, we have the switch here, so we can go from off to wired to wireless. Now it does do either Bluetooth, it's Bluetooth 5, or 2.4 gigahertz, 1000 hertz. We also have a switch here for Windows or Mac, so you can switch it to your preferred OS. And then this is a new feature for this year on the Air range, because this is something they used to do on the Halo range, which was a lot deeper. Now I lose dongles for a pastime, especially with the amount of equipment we have in the studio. So being able to stow it back in the keyboard when I'm done with it, that's a lifesaver for me, because I am terrible for that. Then finally, we have the USB-C. Now that's to either run it wired or just to charge the battery. Now if we look to the bottom, let's tear this off. Nice reflective Newfie plates telling you about your keyboards. We've obviously got rubber feet at the front, and at the back, we've got rubber pads so you can lie it flat, or you have the two-stage adjustable feet, which I love. Because if they're too flat, I don't find that particularly comfortable for typing, so I like to have them at quite an incline. So much better typing experience for me. Now when you're buying these, you can buy a nice wrist rest with it. I didn't get one for this one, but I have one, I believe, somewhere for my V2, which I'll look at later on. But it gives a really nice, comfortable typing experience then. Now they do also make a new folio case this year as well, which I haven't got my hands on, but if you are traveling with this quite a lot, the new folio case protects the actual keyboard and gives you a nice little stand where you can put a tablet or phone up if you want to be typing on the go. So that's a nice little feature that they offer. Now this is available for pre-order now, and you usually get discounts on the products if you're pre-ordering it before it's actually released properly. But also we do have a MASH10 code, which gives you an extra discount on this actual product or any other Newfie products. I believe at the moment it's $10 off the actual product itself. So make sure, I will put that description down below. If you're buying one, use the code for that. So I'm just going to quickly cut that there, and I'm going to go set this up so we can look at the actual lighting and the functionality of this keyboard. Right, so I've just grabbed a Mac and I've plugged it in because we are all set up with the Mac keyboard at the moment. Now I'm running this via the wire connection, and straight away you can see it is lit up. Now, because the supplied PBT keycaps are not shine through, you're only going to get the lighting effect around the edge of the actual keycaps themselves. Now, if you're in a darker environment, it does look really nice subtle lighting, but with all these studio lights on, you're probably not going to see, so I'll put a bit of B-roll in so that you can see that. Now, either side of the keyboard, you see we have these little rainbow lights here that are sort of really nicely sort of like running a rainbow wave up and down. Now, that also does show you other bits and pieces. So if I hit caps lock, you'll notice we get a solid blue because caps lock is on. When you move to like Bluetooth or the 2.4 GHz dongle, it will show you whether you're in Bluetooth mode or 2.4 GHz mode. And also on the right hand side, this will show you your actual battery charging status. Now, one thing I didn't mention earlier on is one of the massive improvements on this keyboard is the actual battery life. Now, without the RGB on, they're claiming about 1200 hours of battery life. Now, obviously I've not had time to test that, but we're talking that's probably 5 to 6 times more than the V2 and probably 12 times more than the V1. So it's a massive improvement in battery. So that's going to be a real plus for those of us that don't like charging your devices very often. So let's just quickly now, I'm going to unplug it and I'm going to move over to the actual dongle itself. So let's put it into 2.4 gigahertz mode. So there we go. Show me now that I'm in 2.4 gigahertz mode. It'd be blue if I was on the Bluetooth mode. And if I hit the function and backspace, you can see here now the little bar on the right hand side is our battery indicator. And you can see we're 2 bars away from the top with regards to the charge. So that's a really nice, easy way to see how much charge you've got. Function and backspace again brings you back to your typical rainbow wave. So that's a really nice feature, very subtle but very useful. Now with regards to the effects, all the effects can be changed on board or in the Newfie IO software. So function key and the up and down arrows will increase and decrease the brightness. Hopefully you can see that shining through with these lights here. Function and forward arrow, I think changes the color or effect, and function and back is the speed. But in all honesty, I would definitely just plug it in and change it via the Newfie IO. It's so much easier, as well as if you want to set up macros on the keyboard itself. Now, this obviously looks lovely, but how does it type? I've got the Nano Red switches, the new Gateron V3s, and I'm now connected, here we go, in actual 2.4 gigahertz mode. It feels and sounds fantastic. They've really improved the sound deadening material. Honestly, I mean, I've loved Newfie keyboard for a long time. The typing experience on a Newfie compared to sort of an off-the-shelf, I don't know, Razor Blade keyboard or something like that, it's just night and day different. It's a really lovely experience. And considering this is a low profile switch, it still sounds and feels fantastic. These aren't cheap keyboards, but you certainly feel where the money's going with these keyboards. Now, if you did want the shine through, Newfie offer the actual shine through keycaps on their website. Then obviously you'll have all that beautiful light coming through the keycaps, but there will be ABS. So you're gonna lose some of the keycap sort of feel for those ABS keycaps. So let's just quickly pop off a couple. And you can see the lighting. So that's north lighting there. So with the large shine through keycaps that Newfie offer, that comes through nicely through the keycaps themselves and would also shine your secondary functions. So it is really nice. And if we just quickly show the difference between the brightness, see, you can turn it right off and you can put them pretty bright. Obviously I have a lot of studio lighting here. Now, as I mentioned, let's just quickly turn this one off a second. The switches themselves can just be swapped out. So you've got your switch puller on here. They're just low profile switches. Your typical 2-pin Gateron switches, so you can put in whatever you like. Newfie are offering the red nano, brown nano or blush nano for your range of switches this year. These reds feel fantastic. So if you were buying this for like a mobile gaming keyboard, if you switch over to the Windows, it's a really, really lovely feeling keyboard. Now, out the box, you can see we've actually got the knob included, but not installed. By default on the Mac, this button will just mute the sound. You can obviously change that in the Newfie IO, and obviously you can rebind the little yellow key beside it. And the same if you're in the Windows version, you just rebind these keys to what you want. Now, what I do like, obviously on the Mac version, is it will give you all your typical Mac functionality. So, like you can see, it instantly controls my brightness. Then we've got like I think that's mission control, show the desktop. You've got your search, mute your microphone, you've got your play and your pause, mute again, and then your volume control, and then screenshots. Works out the box like a Mac keyboard, which is one thing I love about the Newfies. And again, you can switch it to the Windows, and you can have a Windows keyboard exactly like a Windows keyboard would be, but you just need to switch your keycaps. So what I'm going to quickly do now is let's just install our knob and give that a try. Now to install the knob, you need to take out a few of the actual keycaps themselves so you can get to it. And then you see there's a little screw. And one thing I didn't notice earlier on, there was a little screwdriver included. I completely missed that. So let's get a little screwdriver. I'm going to take out the switch. See the contact points on the back. And we can get our knob, and you see again you've got the contact points there. We're going to pop that in. Screw that down. Pop the keycaps back on. Right, so we've installed the knob. Let's plug that back in. There we go. Now, by default, you can see it is set to volume control, and a press down is your mute as well. So a really nice feature for quick volume handling. You can also set it in that Newfie software for different applications as well. So it could be really good, so task switching or something like that, or in application functions in the Newfie IO software. The software is quite comprehensive. You've got your macro settings, your lighting effects, mode settings. There's quite a lot that you can set within this software, so definitely well worth downloading and using. So there we go. It is a really solid release this year over the V2 from last year. So if I just quickly show you last year's V2. Now putting it side by side with the V2 from last year, you can see at the back end, there's a little bit more of an incline, which naturally does give you a more comfortable angle to type if you're flat on the desk. Otherwise, they look very similar, except for the knob in the corner. Typing experience, I have to just give it slightly to the new version with the gasket mounting. It does feel amazing this year. I'm loving the fact now that we have the actual little storage for our dongle, really useful. Build quality, as per all Newfie, absolutely stunning. It feels solid as a rock, yet easily portable enough you could pop it in your bag. Now, if you pre-order this now, you will get up to 30% on a lot of the accessories you buy with the keyboard. The new Newfolio V3 looks fantastic and comes in 3 colors, looks really nice. Plus you can buy extra keycap sets, shine through and wrist rests. You can really deck yourself out an absolutely lovely keyboard, or buy the keyboard and then totally change the switches and keycaps out yourself. It really is a fantastically customizable board. Now, as always, I will put our discount code in the description if you want to take advantage of that extra $10 off your order. If you have any questions, pop it in the comment section down below and I will get back to you. And as always, thanks for watching.